I think the old-timers had a hard time when they joined teams, but this is fantastic for these kids. And Hibbing's always been tough, you know. I know they've had some pretty hard years, I think, recently, but it was always a great rivalry, and they had great athletes over there.
Well, we're watching the teams warm up. Luber, any other final thoughts before I send you on your way home?
Well, you know what?
You've really helped me out tonight.
I have to mention a couple of Hibbing guys that I played with at Colorado College.
Okay.
Bob Colliard and Bill Valdrika. And actually, Gary Osborne played for a year until he got injured in the eye. But first of all, Colliard was a two-time All-American when he could only play 3 years. And I think he was the best college player I'd ever seen. Amazing. And Billy was an overachiever. I mean, Billy was a great athlete too, but he didn't have the skills of Bob, but he knew how to play with him. And those two, they were in a state tournament in probably 67, I think, and they were great line mates too. So Hibbing has such a terrific history of hockey too.
Well, I also look at Greenway was strong throughout the 60s, 66, 67, 68. International Falls, they were strong. I think a lot of good players have come out of this Iron Range back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
It was amazing.
Well, okay, Luber, I appreciate the time. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Good to see you.
Helping us out tonight. And have fun watching a good hockey game.
It'll be a good game. Yeah, thanks, Bob.
You bet. Steve Luber Sertage joining me here. As the teams now are warming up, we still have some time before the teams will go down. They have to resurface the ice once again. Game time right now is set for, we're probably looking at about another 20 minutes before we actually are going to have the start of the game. Going to be closer to 7:30 tonight. So with that, let's take a look now at some of the statistics in our hockey game. Hibbing 12-8 coming into the game. They are 4.45 goals for, 3.05 against. They've had 659 shots on goal, and they have scored 89 goals so far this year. Meanwhile, Rockridge comes in with a record of 16-3-1 on the season. They are scoring 4.55 goals a game. They're giving up 2.4. They've had 604 shots on goal, and they have scored 92 goals. Aaron Jamnick in his first year as the Hibbing head coach, and as of January 1st, they have gone 3-4 on the season. As a road team this year, Hibbing is 6 wins and 3 losses. Meanwhile, Coach Matt Niskanen's team, since they lost to Little Falls on December the 13th, has gone 12-0-1. They have won 10 games in a row. And as a home team, they are 11-3, and they've won 9 home games in a row here at the Iron Trail Motors Event Center. Taking a look at some comparable scores, these teams have played, looks like about 8 teams that are similar. Against Little Falls, Rockridge lost to Little Falls while Hibbing beat Little Falls. Spring Lake Park, Hibbing was beaten by Spring Lake Park while Rockridge beat Spring Lake Park. And finally Hermantown, both teams played Hermantown. Hibbing got beat 6-3 while Rockridge beat Hermantown in overtime by a score of 1-0. A couple notable wins this year so far for Rockridge. A couple games. They beat Delano. They beat CEC. They beat Hermantown, and they tied Rogers. Again, the teams are warming up. We are still a ways away from the start of our telecast tonight. Again, the girls' game earlier started at 5 o'clock, went to an 8-minute overtime, and Rockridge won in the overtime by a score of 3-2. We'll take a look also. We got some time looking at the schedule involving high school hockey across the state of Minnesota tonight. You've got Moorhead, number 1 in Double A, is playing East Grand Forks. East Grand Forks is ranked number 8 in Single A. Minneapolis, number 9 in A, is at Breck. Monticello, number 3, is at Princeton. You've got 2 state-ranked teams, 2 AA state-ranked teams. St. Thomas Academy is playing in Stillwater tonight. Duluth East is at Totino Grace. Pine City is in Proctor. CEC is hosting Duluth Denfeld tonight. Ashland's at Moose Lake. Greenway is at North Shore. Duluth Marshall in Grand Rapids tonight take on those Thunderhawks. Rock Ridge will be going to Grand Rapids on Thursday night for a big game over there at the Yanmar Arena against those Thunderhawks. A couple other games tonight. Northfield is playing Winona. Northfield's number 6 in A. And finally, Warroad, number 4 in A, is playing Bemidji. That's a look at the schedule. Well, let's take a look now at the lines for each of these teams. Here's the lines tonight for head coach Aaron Jamnick. His first line will have Kellen Elsner centering Ben Gawley and Jace Campsala. A second group will have Tate Swanson in the middle with Cole Swanson and Isaiah Hildenbrand. A third line will have Joey Gabardi with Hunter Gustafson and Tyler Ratze. And a fourth group, if they should go to a fourth line, Aiden Jerkovich with Raiden Scott and Blake Ritchie. Starting in the goals tonight will be Rex Wally. Wally on the season is 7 wins and 4 losses on the season. He's got a 2.54 goals against and an 89% saves. On defense, their pairs tonight will be Ethan Sunval with Whittaker Rewerts. It'll be Jackson Strukel. Nice to have Jackson back in the lineup. He was out most of the season now, just came back in just recently with that injury. He'll be paired up with Dylan Vessel. And their third set of defense will have Mason McDonald with Landon Krampetich. Again, the head coach is Aaron Jamnick. His assistant coaches Ryan Hangeman, Chris Subich, and A.J. Allison. Now let's take a look at the Rock Ridge lines for tonight. They'll be going with Cass Carlson in the middle with Colton Bialke and Brady Dimbirio. A second line, little change here. They've moved Ethan Jacobson up between Levi Flatley and Zach Norberg. The third group will have Johnny Westy centering Jackson Bardavich and Kel Scott. And the fourth line will have Grant Dimbirio. And he'll be paired up with Landon Matheson and Rory Scuffy. On defense tonight, they'll have Derek Dahl with Aiden Rabideau. They'll have Tyler Forsberg with Easton Walters, and Jacob Coombe will be paired up with Blake Norberg. Starting in the nets tonight will be Wyatt Jonason. Wyatt coming in, he is 11 wins, no losses, and 1 tie on the season. He's got a 1.71 goals against and a 93% saves. While the captains are meeting, the teams will be leaving shortly. They have to still resurface the ice, and we are still about 10 minutes away from play-by-play tonight here in Virginia. I'm going to see if I can take a break or something and come on back. So I'm going to send it back to Simon back at KBJR. I think we're going to take a little break, and then we'll come back with more of our pregame after this. Walters walking in. Shot goal! Shot hit right on set goal! Power play. Here's a shot, another goal! Levi Flatley right there will control the puck. Carlson pass. Here's a shot, another goal! Imperio again scored! Misdirection, and it went through the goalie's veins. It's in. Here comes Carl. Nice drop pass. Walking in is Bardovich. Oh man, the Wolverines are on a roll here in the third period. And welcome back. High school hockey on this Tuesday night from Virginia. Glad you're viewing tonight's telecast on MasabiCommunityTV.com, and also we're sending a special link up to your My9 network. And I understand that it's Shotsky back in the studio tonight, manning all the controls. Nice to have him back working with us. Well, we still got a few minutes before we're going to start, so we'll run down the scoring leaders for both of his teams. First for Hibbing Chisholm, Tate Swanson is their leading scorer. He's got 14 goals and 28 assists. Cole Swanson then, 8 goals, 21 assists. Ethan Sunball from the defense has got 10 goals and 19 assists. And finally, Isaiah Hildebrand with 6 goals and 17 assists. The top scorers for Rockridge, Grady D'Imperio with 23 goals, 22 assists. Cass Carlson then with 19 goals and 23 assists. Colton Bialke with 8 goals, 21 assists. Jackson Bardovich, 8 goals, 16 assists. And finally, Cal Scott with 11 goals and 6 assists. Taking a look at the state rankings. In AA, Moorhead 1, St. Thomas Academy is 2, Hill Murray 3, Rogers is 4. Cretin-Durham Hall sits at number 5, Edina is 6, White Bear Lake is 7, Stillwater 8. Rosemount is 9, and Wayzata is ranked number 10. Looking at the Class A rankings, Hermantown number 1, Cloquet-Esco Carleton is 2, Monticello 3, Warroad 4. This Hibbing Chisholm team is currently number 5. Northfield is number 6. St. Cloud Cathedral sits at 7. East Grand Forks 8. Minneapolis is 9. And Little Falls gets back into the top 10 at ranked number 10. Special teams for Hibbing, their power play is 31.3. And their penalty kill is 92.3. Boy, those are awful great numbers. Rockridge, their power play is 30.